Oh, we going live, man. We going live, man. Oh, I've got a button on Twitch to run a 1 minute ad break. We are live. Boom. Let's tweet this out. Twitter. Oops. We're going live, team. We have to build a food image data set using Microsoft Bing. Yes, I know. Going live on Twitch. Building food image data set for machine learning using Microsoft's Bing. Yes, Bing. If this works, can you imagine if this works? If it does, we say this project started with Bing. Yes, Bing. If it doesn't, what do we do if it doesn't? We blame Microsoft. Will this fit in if I just say, there we go. Twitch.tv, going live on Twitch, building a food image data set for machine learning using Microsoft Bing. Bing API, we'll just do that. Yes, Bing. Imagine this work. If it does, we say this project started with Bing. Yes, Bing. If it doesn't, we blame Microsoft. Beautiful. And photos of dogs. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, let's get out of this. Let's open up the chat. Pop out. Chat over there. Do I need this up? This can go over here. If you can hear me, say hi. So we've been diving in. Yesterday's stream was an absolute disaster. We tried to dive into Microsoft's Bing image search API, which is actually pretty good. We're going to find that out today if it really is. Just a whole bunch of stuff that went wrong with the API and whatever. So here's what we're working towards. We're building Nutrify, take a photo of food and learn about it. I'm going to clean up the repo eventually, but we need some food images because we're at the point where we need to start building a food image model. So we need to find a way how to collect those images. We're up to stage 1. We want to get to stage 2. So we want to build a small prototype computer vision app to take a photo of 10 different types of food and return back their nutrition information. This will be done by a public nutrition API, which we found out in a previous stream that we can use the USDA's Food Data Central. So now we are up to, let's go here. And I have about an hour to stream today. I would like to go longer, but I have a few things on. So let's timer that up. That'll just have to make sure that we keep this clean, you know? Timer. Last stream, we want to go, here's what we're doing today. Use Microsoft Bing API to download images from Bing. Yeah, seriously, imagine if this works. If this works, we can say that this entire project started using Microsoft's Bing. French Toast Mafia, what's happening, my friend? Ideally, for each target class. And we're not going to build a model today. We just want to get our data sorted today. Let's go create a table of metadata for saved images. Okay, I think this is good enough. That's what we want to do. I'm going to keep that up there. And this is today. What we're doing. So we want this. So if we look into ls, I made a directory yesterday, 10 Whole Foods test. We have apple and banana in there. That was what my script managed to download. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. So, and congrats on 100K. Let's go to where we were. Nutrify. So this is what we got yesterday from Bing. Well done, Bing. Photos of apples. It's actually a really good way to start building a data set. I might write a guide on this too, by the way. So now let's go get rid of that. Let me show you what it looks like. So if we go to bing.com and if we search images of, we want chicken wings. There we go. Right, so we want to download, say, the first 50 of these images. And the beautiful thing about Bing, you could probably do this on Google, but I know Bing now. Like, does anyone use Bing? You can say public domain, so we want them to be like open images that we can use. And we want them to be of a photograph. So there we go. So there's some chicken wing images. Now let's jump into the code. This is actually using Bing. What is this? Oh, you can save those images. So I have this notebook called Data Download. Is it still running? So it uses I created yesterday a Microsoft Azure account, which was the entire problem of the last stream, because it just took forever. Anyway, that's done. So you need a stream key. I'm keeping that just in ST secrets. You could keep that in an OS environment variable. Then you create a header. Then you have a search term here of like what you'd want to search Bing for. And this is the URL that we use for the API for Bing. So we have api.bing.microsoft.com, v7 version 7, which is just the latest version. We want to search for images, and then we just use search for images. And then we go down. We have a bunch of parameters here that you can modify. The parameters is what we had up before. So these are the query parameters. The query goes as a JSON query, so you start by defining that in a dictionary in Python. We've got CC, count, ID, market, etc., offset, queue, save. So we can get quite intricate with the Bing API, but we're going to keep it simple to begin with. So we just want a search term. So give me photos of Apple that are public and they are photos. Like if you search for Apple on Bing, you might get cartoon apples. Yeah, so you get some clip art, stuff like that. We don't want clip art. We want photos of apples. Then we can go, we create a response using the request library, request.get search URL. So search URL, and then we pass in the headers, which is this, and then we pass in the parameters, which is this. And then if there's an error, we use that. We get the results back in a JSON, and then we loop through those to get the thumbnail URLs. So let's see what the search results look like if I just run this normally. I'm going to zoom out one level. So if we get search results, this is what comes back from Bing in JSON. So we've got a bunch of different parameters here, attributes of different things, but the main one we're looking for is value. So value is going to be web search URL. And then we have a thumbnail URL. So this is where the thumbnail is stored. So if we go to this, I think this might actually show us a photo of an apple. There we go. So that's what we're downloading for the thumbnail, but for our purposes, we're going to download the entire image. So the thumbnail is less quality. Yeah, but then if we go to the content URL, that's what we're after. Content URL, we have a picture of an apple, which is much bigger. So we want to download heaps of these, okay? And then the minimum amount of search results that get returned are 35. Interesting number, but that's just how it is. So this little code here, thumbnail URLs, gets the first 16 thumbnail URLs, and then we have another bit of code here to display those thumbnails. There we go. So we might actually make this bigger. Does all of this make sense? Well, it didn't really turn out to be the size I wanted it. Can we go fig size? Is this going to mess it up? There we go, that's bigger. We don't need that. Oops. Re-downloading the images every time. So there we go, there's our photos of apples. So we want the same setup but for our target classes, which in the previous few streams, we've been getting their nutrition information. So if we look here, we've got the nutrition information for egg, chicken wings, beef, carrots, strawberries, blueberries, honey, banana, apple, mushroom. So basically this app, what this whole app stack is at the moment, is literally a whole bunch of data processing. That's all it is we're using an existing nutrition database. We're pulling data from that. We're going to pull some images from Bing, and then we're going to build a computer vision model on those images and map the outputs of the computer vision model to the nutrition information. And then we have stage 2 complete. So I wrote this monstrosity of a function yesterday, but it worked. Let me just delete. It's actually not that big. It fits into. So we need to do something here. To do batch save images, and we need to batch delete images, and then we also need to add image metadata to CSV for logging and exporting later. Okay. That's what I want to do. So I ran into a problem yesterday where, oh no, this got the URLs. This just got the URLs, this one, my bad. And then we got a dictionary of URLs here, Apple for the target classes, Apple with all of these URLs. And then I wrote this, yeah, this is a longer function here. This function downloaded the URLs, however, it messed up. See, what I tried to do here was try to get the image, and it would save the image, and the image should save, but then if we need to find the image for bugs as well. So that's what this check does. If this fails, the target image should be deleted. Delete target image from file. However, downloading and deleting them at the same time is potentially not what we want. So, how can we create a dictionary? How should we structure our data? If we have, I want to get the metadata. So what metadata can we extract from this? Okay, we can get a bunch of different stuff here. Let's get one of the values. Hey, give me a code cell here, baby. Baby. Results value. Let's get the first one. Okay, and we've got Should I just get the thumbnails? Because these images might be huge. It'd be good to have the full size image. That way we can train a big model if we need to. Or maybe resize the image. That's all right. We can get the full size image. Let's go. We can get, let's just write a simple list. Attributes. We can get width. We can get height. We can get content URL. Oh, we want date downloaded. Date acquired. Date created. And source, because it's going to be from Microsoft Bing API. I think that is good enough. JPEG, that's fine. Okay, that's what we want from value. Attributes from value. And then attributes to create. You can save metadata. Okay, and Python, let's get the current timestamp. Oh my gosh, I'm getting ads. Ashik, what's going on, yo? Is it just as easy as that to get from datetime import datetime now? I think I do that in here actually. Do I have datetime? Yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay. we've got the daytime. So this is where we need to don't need to show you how this works because this is actually pretty cool to see. Let's go to Nutrify and we're just going to delete the data that we have now. You ready? So this is going to search Bing for Apple image URLs. Have a look at that. Then we found bananas. This actually runs pretty quick, 13 seconds, and we got images. We got 100 URLs for each class. Now, if we run this code, it's going to start downloading some data into here. So watch this. This is pretty cool. It's going to take these image URLs and download them to there and then verify if they're correct by trying to open them. Here we go. Apple. Oh, we got an Apple folder. We have images of apples, people. Look at this. Just fresh images. Downloading from the internet. Nothing but the best. So this is where we need to create a this is where we need to create a metadata table. Saving all the metadata from here. So let's stop this. You can only download X amount of images per day for free. There is no limit if you want to pay. I don't mind paying. So that I have a free tier, which is about 1,000 per month or something, which is pretty good. But then it's only like $6 for every extra 1,000. So if you wanted to download 100,000 images, that's about $600. But that's a lot of images, you think, if you just imagine how long it would take you to collect 100,000 images. So now let's actually create the... Oh, we could probably create the image. Create the image metadata. Let's download in one hit. We should give each image, where should we give them a UID? I think that's what we're going to do. Let's make this a dictionary. And then we're going to a list of dicks. That's what we'll do. Because then each dictionary is a dictionary of Yeah, that's a very good Python data type. It's a dictionary. It's a list of dictionaries, and then inside each dictionary, the key is the image ID, and the values are in another dictionary. Yeah, I like that structure. So image to download list equals image metadata is going to be an empty dictionary. And then no, image values will be an empty dictionary, and image metadata. This will make sense, I think, once I code it out. If in doubt, code it out. And then we want image metadata. Give each image a UUID. Yeah, this is what we'll do. We'll batch download, then we'll batch delete the ones that don't work. Equals image metadata, image ID equals UUID dot UUID4. We need to turn that into a string. Let's import image dict. Turn this into a string, and then image values. Let's go image URL equals collect metadata. Oh, team, this is going to be great. Height, width, now what else did we want? URL and date created equals yo, Notorious, what's good? I got a Notorious poster on my wall up here. Have I tried out GitHub Copilot? No, but they actually just did give me access to that. I don't really have a use case for it though. Image metadata. Image values equals creation time. Or download time equals date time, that's fine. Date time, should I call that download time? That'll do. And then we also want I think I could do this all in one dictionary. I don't need to create multiple. I think I'm just going to go image metadata. And then it'll be a list of dictionaries. Yeah, that'll be easier. Image metadata. I need to change all of these to metadata. See, that's a great example of like GitHub Copilot. Like a lot of programming is GitHub Copilot sure could write code better than me, but a lot of programming is not just about writing code. It's about thinking about what you need to do. And so could that have Copilot have told me, like, it's like, hey, you don't really need 2 dictionaries here. You should just use 1 dictionary and then append that dictionary to a list. Like, is that something Copilot can do? I don't know. I haven't tried it out, but that's you got to remind yourself, like, programming, GitHub Copilot to me pushes you to write more code when in fact you actually want to write less code. Because the more code you write, the more code you have to come back to later down the track. You have to maintain. So have we got what we want here? We want to create an image dictionary for each image. Source is going to be equal to Microsoft Bing API v7. Is that what it is? I think it's v7. Image search API v7. You can never have enough metadata, you know what? Because this is just going to be in a CSV. It's going to be a small amount of data. Yeah, so we have an image ID for each image. We have a source for each image. We have the URL. That's what we're going to download it from. We're going to have the value, which is the height. We're going to have the value, which is the width. We're going to have the when we downloaded it as a date time string from time. And then we can go, we actually want image to download list is going to be append image metadata. And then why do we have another dictionary here? Image class URLs dict, where did that go? For each search term, do we need to do that? Do we need to do that anymore? Each search term is going to have its own dictionary. Do we want that structure? Can we pull that from the value? Not really. Name. That's all right. Then we'll just have a... We're going to put this into a script soon, by the way. So this will just be a script you can just pass like a whole bunch of image classes to, and it'll download it to. And then it'll return those images and a metadata CSV. I don't actually think that we need that. I think we can do that. Because we're looping through search terms. Then this is going to give us a dictionary for each image. Do we want it like that? Yes. And then we want just one big dictionary with all of the image metadata. But then that's going to reset every time we go to a new search term. So we need to just bring this out and put it up here. And then image to download list is in there. And then I think this is going to be it. We will find out shortly, won't we? Image to download list. Because this is going to give us a list of dictionaries, which will have, each dictionary will have an image ID, a source, the search term, which is the label, the URL, the height, the width, and the time it was downloaded. What does this look like? 3, 2, 1. We're on, team. Oh, did I say? And you're right, Ashik. I always love tunneling into docs and figuring things out by reading Stack Overflow and then restructuring the code. Yes, you're so right. I love doing that too. Oh, look at that, team. We now have a list of dictionaries. I wonder if we can turn this into a data frame. Yes, we should be able to. So targ image df equals pd Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. We have 1,000 rows. We have the URLs to 1,000 images. So eventually we're going to, yes, Ashik, you're right. This will get mapped to our database. See how we can start to, now we can use the image ID as the primary key. Then we can match those to other databases. Then we know where the image came from. We know the image URL, and we know when it was downloaded. So we could go, hey, get us the get us only the images from the last 6 months, and we want every image that we have of Apple. Get me those image IDs and where we can download them from. So now we need to go on our list. We need to figure out how we can download these and then delete the ones that don't exist. So we're looping through search terms again. I don't think I want to do this anymore. So I could save that to a CSV. Collecting data from web APIs might have their drawback. No. Searching for Apple, it will also result in Apple logo on their products, don't they? Well, have a look at this. We can change the search term to only give us image types that are photos. So if we go to Bing, and if we go type, photograph, we only want images that are photographs. So look at that. But if we were to change this, I think if we change this to Apple, as in capital A. Oh no, it's still going to show us apples, but look at that. We still get, there's heaps of photos of apples there. We can filter these later on. Build a model that goes food, not food. So I'm trying to figure out what's the ideal way to do this, is to save, and then I think that the bottleneck was we were trying to delete at the same time as saving. Is that the best way to do things? We'll just download them all, then we'll scan images that don't work. Let's do that. Target images, metadata. So now we have a CSV here. There we go, look at that. We got all these URLs. This is from the Bing Search API. So now we're going to, we will export the deletion. Let's call this download images. And then we'll make this delete images, scan through downloaded images, and if they don't work, delete them. Also delete them from the CSV metadata file. To do. So this is what a lot of machine learning is, delete images that don't work. Downloading data and making sure the data is good, because once we have good data, the modeling is going to be easy, team. How good are models getting these days? Okay, so let's move this code down there. And so we've got a list here. Gaurav, what's going on, my friend? I'm doing excellent. How are you? We're doing a short stream today because I have a doctor's appointment, and then I have something on this afternoon. So we're gonna really start. I'm gonna start working out how I can do longer streams and whatnot. I got something planned for the end of next week too. So let's get this. So we need to rework this to be for image dick in image to download list. Let's go image ID, set up the variables here. Image ID equals image ID. Oh, my bad. Yo, pseudo maze, what's happening? Check this. Okay. This better not be bad. Do you have the link to the tweet? Likewise, real estate, cash, stock, bonds, jobs, Twitter accounts, blogs are all not assets. They depend on the maintenance of government institutions. Imbecile. Tell me you've got the link to that, pseudo maze. What an honor. I'm sure Mark, like I'm going to message Mark and say that's an honor to be called an imbecile by Nassim Taleb. That's hilarious. I'm going to save that for later. Tell me you've got the link to the tweet. Okay, we need to go back. We've only got 15 minutes left to finish this downloading script. Let's do that. Oh, you've got the link. Once again, distracted by Twitter. A book is something you own. You can give it to someone else. It is an asset. An app or electronic boon you don't own. You can't transfer them. They're not assets. Likewise, real estate, cash, stock. That's hilarious. Okay, we're getting distracted. Let's write some code here, but that is hilarious. Thank you, Pseudo Maze, for sharing that. I need to talk to Mark about that. That's hilarious. How do you even use dark mode on Twitter? I don't use dark mode on VS Code. Why would I use it on Twitter? What else do we need? Daniel, you're using IMG, not image. The notebook theme on VS Code looks cleaner in light mode than dark mode. Trust me with this. The notebook theme on VS Code in light mode looks better. So we'll get the image URL. Who remembers back in Python when they didn't know how to work with lists and dictionaries? Wasn't that a fun time? Then you realize how powerful lists and dictionaries are. That's really cool, hey. Do we need the search term? Yeah, why not? Search term equals image dict. Remember back in the days where you just didn't even know what a Python list was or a dictionary? Those are the good old days. Image URLs, we don't need the URLs. We don't need this for loop anymore. But let's enumerate this. How do I change the theme in here? GitHub theme. This extension. GitHub theme. This. Oh, fresh. Fresh. Dark. Okay, how do I change the theme again? How do you get to the settings in VS Code again? Help. Settings. GitHub. Theme. Nice. You know what? I think I actually prefer the default dark. What's light plus? Dark plus. Are you happy? We're in dark plus now. Now my eyes have to readjust. You happy with this? This looks terrible to me. I like this. Yeah. Light theme, baby. What is this? Can be dark. Someone actually use this? Dark. Okay, let's go back to deep. What's Pragey? Is Pragey a theme? Abyss. Not bad. Actually, that's terrible. GitHub dark, dim. I don't mind that. I don't like the red. Okay, I like that. GitHub dark, dimmed, or light? Look at light, man. That's so clean. Okay. Make dirs, target dir. We got target dir, search term. We don't need this. So it's going to be. Let's get this here. Images, and let's now get I+1. I want this to be centered as well. I like it centered, like notebook style. Let's shift tab this over. Okay, we don't need to make Don't need to print the save path. Target dir search term. Image ID. Don't need that. It's going to print out 1,000. Let's not do that. Should we make a list of save paths? We could do that. We don't actually need that. All right, who reckons this is going to work? See you, Sheik. Thank you for joining in. Let's run this. Don't leave for 1 second. I'm going to run this code. Let's go over here. Ready? We got an empty directory. Will this work? 3, 2, 1. Let's see what happens. Oh, here we go. We've got Apple. We've got images that have been downloaded. Beautiful. Banana on its way. Beef. Here we go. Images successfully downloaded. Now, here's the thing. We're going to have some like this one. See, this one couldn't get downloaded. That's what we're going to have to delete. We're going to have to delete that with that. But thank you, Ashik. I'll see you soon, brother. Thank you for joining in. We got it working, but now we're going to have to just write a script to go back and clean up these ones. See that they're broken. See, couldn't be opened. We'll have to go back through and fix that one that's broken. Gaurav says, Daniel, you have a lot of things to do, right? Making your own food, streaming, YouTube, working out, spending time with family, and plenty more. How do you manage to do all these? Well, you've just listed basically all I do all day. I just made a good lunch for myself. I stream what I'm doing now. Working out. I went for a big bike ride this morning. Spending time with the family, that'll be tonight. Yeah, but see, Ashik, see all these busted ones here? They're busted. So we're going to have to go back through them. And if they don't open, we've got to delete them. So now let's But Gaurav, yeah, I basically don't do anything other than what you just said. I don't watch TV. I don't watch very many movies. Like today at the moment, I want to... I just said I'm going to do 2 hours of Nutrify and 2 hours of PyTorch and then an hour of reading and then workout and food in between that. By the time I get all that done, there's not much time for anything else. Got a doctor's appointment later. But this is what I'm doing before the end of the year. So this is, I'm going on a family holiday in the end of the year, December 18. Is this loading? Okay, Notion's decommissioned. I think this is using up all of my bandwidth. Oh, we've got images downloaded for Apple. Okay, let's write some files. So, do we have bananas coming in? Who's ready to see some bananas come in? And you're right, Ashik, it's very close to Lindy Lifestyle. Bananas are coming in, team. We're on. Images of bananas. Hello. So this is what I'm doing for the rest of the year. I got to record the audio book of my book. I've got to get Charlie Wook's book printed. And I'm just doing 100 hours of PyTorch and Nutrify. So, actually, this is today. PyTorch. Oh, there's the timer. How long do I have? I've got about another 10 minutes. But this is just before the end of the year. Before December 18th for me. So if we go down here, this will be 21, but we'll do that next week. So this is this week, 10 hours a week before I go, of each. And you're right, Ashik. I hope we don't just step into the wrong side of bananas. Okay, let's now Python, how to get list of files in directory and subdirectories. OS walk. Okay, we can just walk through the path names, which is pretty easy. How do you spell pseudocode? How do you spell pseudo in general? EUDO. I'm not special. I just don't do much except for the things I enjoy. Pseudocode for image in okay. I'm going to leave this downloading. Hey, Ashik, you're right. Videos like Shut Up and Study, How I Became a Productivity Machine, Don't Learn ML, etc. You're right. I need to start making more of those. I've been focusing, instead of making videos, I've just been focusing on just creating. Instead of talking about stuff, just making stuff. Then just delivering. All right, look at that. So this is what we have to delete. We have to delete these images that won't open up. I'm going to leave this script running. And hopefully we come back and we get some more images. Well, I've got plenty more of those, Ashik, where they can come from. So when I get a new idea, I'll start to make a video. But I've got to go, team. Thank you so much for this short stream. We are now building an image data set for Nutrify Stage 2. These are going to be the first 10 foods that Nutrify is going to work on. So this is very exciting. I'm going to clean this code up and put it into a script, and it'll be on GitHub very shortly. But the idea will be to have this code as a script that you can just go download images of a list of classes from Bing, and it will download them to directories like this, and then it will delete the images that shouldn't exist. Oh, here's what we also need to do. OS remove code here to delete from CSV file as well. But yes, this is very exciting. Stage 2 is coming in. Nutrify. Oh, the website's up, by the way. Hey, what happened to the website? Check out the website here, nutrify.app, nice and simple. But then we have index.html. Stage 2 is where we're going next. I want to be there by tomorrow, or maybe the end of next week we'll be at stage 2. Stay tuned for a big stream coming up shortly. But I'm out. I love you all.